take another L. Designer on me, this they new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drip. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Yeah, this the winning teams. 6 rings with a pinky ring. Everybody used to picking me, now I'm the one that they picking. Snakes out, they hit scene, but I can't hear it when the crowd screams. Still balling like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues in the in blood across it.
Today, from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New England Patriots taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
It is clear, but it is cold here today as EA Sports takes us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now is where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Sony Michel on the carry.
The numbers a week ago for Michel. 16 carries, 55 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
From the 27, Jones. And right away, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So here are the Bengals now in great field position to start. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Normally, being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Patriots, nothing.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard.
So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now this throw caught left side, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
To number 88.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Down and 4.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
A 43-yard attempt.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, you shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs and goes to one of those.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
It's a gain of
23 yards on the play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Always picked off at the 21, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Now remember, this is the number 1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing after the interception, Jones. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Sacked.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. That result, really no surprise. That's what we're coming accustomed to with this number 1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gore, flush to his right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back. And the defense loses him. It's complete.
Get off the field.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Elliott now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time.
Jake Elliott set to
now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
From the gun, they run with Michel. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And he'll take this all the way up to the 38-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about he rifles one that's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
On first down, Gore. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
complete.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Off play action. Gore. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead now increases to 20-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
This Bengal defense now making their way back out onto the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll roll him out right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Operating from the gun. Gore going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40.
Complete to Joe.
Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
First down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
22, the ball carrier.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
On the play. And it's 3rd down.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Gore. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 23. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Yards. And a Bengal 1st down.
Off the play fake. Gore. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
It's a gain.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they get rewarded.
And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
Brandon, let's file this play away for later. Let's note this play because, to me, it's not out of the question that the decision to pass up the 3 there could come back to haunt them later on.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
On the ground, Michelle. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
The tackle made at his own 5.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Hamler now on the return. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. To throw on 2nd down, Gore. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Yard to throw on 3rd down. Gore. Open man, it's complete to Higgins.
Gore's pass.
So that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
9 yards. First down, Cincinnati.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
The ball carrier.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun, Gore. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. Looking to throw. Gore being chased. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Cincinnati.
Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
And that stretches the lead to 27. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run.
Nothing. Jake Elliott set to kick.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. He'll find Gandy Golden there, complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
At the 29-yard line.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin out in Houston, and they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. James Washington, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we'll skip over to Louisiana to check on the Saints at home in New Orleans. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. DJ Moore, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far as he's thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will.
Holding offense.
What the heck is it?
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Throwing on third and long. Gore looking left side, and it's complete. And will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Complete.
A big play there. 88 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on.
Jake Elliott.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. Returning it, here's Hamler. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. They'll keep it on the ground. Alford. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Gore. That's going to be caught. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Number 13. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play you would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
20-yard line.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. You might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Patriots.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching him play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On second down, Alford. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. From the gun, Gore. Got a man open, it's Ross. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on fourth down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Gore. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain there of 21 yards. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. T. Higgins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown.
Jake Elliott set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now on 2nd and 13. Jones. And he'll get that to Michel. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And that is incomplete.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. The 30, the 20, and he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there for Cincinnati. 54 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll run on first down. Alford, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Looking to throw on second down. Gore, they'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
On third down, Gore. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Bengals 51, Patriots nothing.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he returns this to the 22.
The Patriots take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brings up second and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Jones now to throw again. He'll get this underneath to Michelle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
At the 47-yard line.
Jones throwing on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Jones throwing again. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything, Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
A gain of 11 on the play.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll keep it on the ground. Alford. And he's going to take this down close to the first as he's brought down at the Patriots 21. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 3rd and 2, Gore. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's out to his running back, Michel. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Good. 16 yards, a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder what plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Jones' pass intended for number 89. Incomplete. Damon Arnett on the coverage.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Jones. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
Complete. Damon Arnett on the coverage.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 17. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bengals, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.
Know my name, I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains, I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. They say fall and you let go, but I know I got an antidote to retain some kind of self-control. Look inside my head through a telescope. You erase all the calls from a telephone. No sense in a joke. Holding back your tears, singing minimal syllables. Yeah, look at me, out the asylum. Was a fate or mistake, cause the time ain't up. Yeah, the parts of my mind don't get much love. If you want in my head, come and call me up. You look like a twisted Robin Hood. You take from the rich and the poor and us. Wearing diamond shoes where you walk your pugs in a town you create where there ain't no love. They don't know my name, I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains, I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade.
Stop taking but still got a reflux. Eyes drip out from the socket to a teacup. Drink up inside, look when they peep us. Huge us in the belly of the beast, but outside there's a war going on your front lawn. Black Hawk, see the red dawn horizon. Blind yet I'm rising, abiding by laws of attraction. My thoughts still rising, thinking what type of knowledge gon' sink in? Life gives you lemons and my only thought is drinking. Thirsty, will I be alive or dead before 30? That's all that concerns me early. Lemonade quenching my inner rage when it takes center stage. Way before they pouring on my grave. Minute Maid, let it set my soul ablaze. On each and every way, put me in the water for the save.
They don't know